looking at the ES E-mini futures 2000 tick chart, and we're using price action rules and market geometry to determine where to enter for high probability setups. All right, guys, so as you can see, we started this overnight session off with a nice downtrend working lower, clean break outside of that channel, and push to new low. Break outside of the channel happens when you can see these trend lines here, and you can see how well prices are following those trend lines. As soon as a bar closes outside of that channel, price action tells us that we need to create new low. A new low is basically a lower low than the previous low inside the channel while it was still active, before it broke out or had a closing bar outside of the channel. So after new low is created, we expect either correction or reversal to happen. As you can see, we created new low, ended up pushing back up, tested EMA a couple of times, bounced off EMA again, almost broke lower, but we ended up pushing back above EMA and then back below. So after you see something like this and it continues to work lower, you can start to look for some kind of wider channel, something potentially like this. You can see it's pretty broad. It looks like a trading range just tilted slightly down, and there's a lot of empty room here at the bottom. So I'm not a huge fan of it, so that's why I didn't have it drawn. This is just kind of area of development, really a no trade zone. You really want to sit on your hands here and just follow your short-term channels, right? So you want to draw these sharper ones, these smaller ones, and look for breaking new highs of those and breaking new lows as well of those ones. So you just want to be patient in areas like this. You have to be able to understand the overall market bias before you're even looking for a trade. So we pushed lower here. There may be even some kind of spike down like this. We broke outside of that channel, created new low. And then after new low was created, we ended up making this nice spike up. You can see how well price action is following the trend line as well as the EMA. This is really what you're looking for a high probability trading area. You know the overall bias of the market, it's bullish, right? So you're looking for second entry longs off of the EMA. I just caught this one, and it broke outside of this channel, right? So I entered on this higher low, risking 8 ticks. Let's see what that would look like. So I entered a few ticks below the close of this bull pin bar right here. It's probably pretty small for you guys to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this bull pin bar is where I entered. I was a little bit hesitant entering this second entry long. You can see new high, first entry long, pull back, second entry long. The way we count that is we reset our count from the highest high inside the channel, and then once there's a break below a bar, that would be our first pullback, right? So we have new high, first pullback, first entry long as soon as we broke above this bar here. So that's first entry long, and then our second pullback starts when we break below a bar. So we have new high, first entry long, pull back because it broke below this bar, pull back all the way down here, and then a second entry long because it triggered above, well, it triggered above this bear bar with this bull bar you can see, but you can treat this as a double bar entry. And once this bull bar gets a trigger above, you can try to get either filled one tick above that bar, or you can wait for it to trigger above that bar and then put your limit order down here to try to minimize your risk. And then we have a higher low confirming that, which is basically a third entry long. But you can see we pushed above EMA, found support at EMA. I went ahead and took this higher low here. I took my runner up here because we had created new high. You can see we broke outside of this channel. And like I always say, after new highs created, we can expect correction or reversal. Looking like we're kind of continuing to push up here, so there might be some kind of wider channel. You know, you can see this first swing down here. Might be something like that, but it's too early to tell. So I'm just going to keep this one drawn. Play it as new high just to be safe. You know, you don't want to end up jumping into the market when new high was already created just because you want to catch a trade. You really got to be patient in times like this. So I'm going to go back to sitting on my hands. Just a quick update for you guys. I created a Discord channel where I'll be live streaming my trading chart every day. All that information will be in the description and the pinned comment. So if you guys are interested in joining that Discord, it's open, so feel free to join up and let's see what the market wants to do here. All right, guys, I'm going to be playing this spiking channel. It has a lot more confirmations here. We did break outside of this channel, so I'm looking for some kind of second entry long. It would be a second entry long and a higher low. But I really want to see EMA hold here because this uptrend needs new high. But we were really strong in this uptrend right here. You can see how what we call hard EMA. That's where the EMA has a lot of strength. When the prices come and test this EMA, it often bounces. And we were like that for a while in this uptrend. So I'm thinking this uptrend needs new high. I'm expecting it to create one. I'm hoping we get a good bull bar here. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, we ended up breaking lower. So I'm thinking I'm going to go back to my old channel with breaking new high already. Something like this. That fits pretty well. There is a lot of empty room here at the top. Only 1 or 2 confirmations off of this top trend line. But you can see how strong this spike was. And now that we attempted to push above EMA, we even made a second entry short. You can see new low, first entry short, it broke below this bar, pull back, broke above it, and then second entry short. So there's a second entry short there, and it ended up working to the downside. So if that other spike in channel is still in play, I really want to see, I mean, we have 2 legs here actually. So if we push above EMA here, I can go back to the other channel, expecting it to create new high, but it looks like EMA is holding to the downside now, so it's definitely an area of development. I'm just going to be sitting on my hands and waiting for more price action. All right, guys, I went ahead and entered this trade. It was a little bit risky because there's a potential for it to have new high already. We have new low, first entry short, pull back, second entry short, failure. I already scalped out my 8 ticks. I was risking a little bit more on this trade. I risked 10 ticks on this one, but it formed so nice above EMA. You can see 2 legs to new low here. We broke below EMA, so it is a little bit sketchy, but we have new low, first entry short, second entry short, failure. So it was good enough for me to risk. Looks like we're going to run my 16 as well. So let's see what the market wants to do here. Alright, guys, the spike in channel created new extreme. After new extreme, like I always say, we expect correction or reversal. So this is what we would call an area of development. I'm just going to be sitting on my hands and waiting for the bias to be clear, not even looking for trades. You want to know what the bias is before you start looking for trades. So just sitting on my hands here. Let's see what the market wants to do. Alright, guys, so I'm thinking this spike in channel had some kind of overshoot here. So when overshoot happens, it's when it breaks outside of the channel, but it breaks in the direction of the trend. So you can see we broke out of the top of this uptrend. And when overshoot happens, you can expect it to completely reverse the market. I'm thinking this uptrend still needs new high considering how bullish it's been. Let's see. There we go. With how bullish today's been, you can see we've just been working higher and higher. You constantly have to start looking for another trend once one breaks and creates new extreme, and it just continues to work higher. But you can see we had overshoot, and then it led to a push below EMA. So I'm not really looking for a wider uptrend just yet. I want to see what the market wants to do here. I want to see it break outside of the other side of this channel and then push above EMA to create some sort of setup to be able to test new high. But like I said, overshoot can lead to complete reversal. So it's definitely just area of development. You got to sit on your hands here. We did get a second entry long here off of the EMA, but you always have to skip that second entry long or second entry short after overshoot for the same reasons that I mentioned, that it can completely reverse the market. So let's see what the market wants to do here. All right, guys, so we had overshoot and we ended up creating new high for this uptrend, but we continue to work higher. So I'm thinking there's some kind of wider channel. It's too early to tell which one it is. So I'm going to go ahead and take my break now. And when I come back, hopefully the bias will be a little bit more clear. So let's see what the market wants to do. All right, guys, I just came back from my break. Really, really good uptrend today. You can see the price action is perfect. So if we zoom in to the most recent price action here, it's pretty common when a trend like this is about to break for it to start to consolidate sideways inside of it before it breaks outside of it. It's pretty uncommon for it to make like a strong spike up and then immediately break the channel. Normally it'll just start to push up and then start to just kind of go sideways and then it'll break outside of this channel. I'm kind of sitting on my hands for a second because we do have this small trading range, and if a long trade forms here, I don't want to go long directly into these highs to test new high. So I'm just going to be sitting on my hands. There's a potential, like all day today, we keep drawing wider and wider channels, to account for the price action that's forming. So really just got to sit on my hands here and wait and see if we're going to make something wider, if we continue to work higher here, or if we break, push to new extreme, and then reverse down. So there's a lot of things that can happen. Really not looking for any trades. It's definitely a bull day though, so let's see what the market wants to do. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Pretty good trend overall. Super good day. Days like this, you really got to press on the gas. You can see we're just pushing up over and over and over again. So you just really want to find any setup you can. Just make sure you're not going short, obviously, and also make sure that you want that pullback to happen before you start to look for trades, right? You want to see a short-term downtrend break, push to new low. This one didn't do that because the trend is so strong and the market likes to move in pairs of twos. You can see one leg up. We'll copy that, put it here, another leg up. So just look for those two-leg pullbacks. Like, let me see if I can find one like here, right? So you have this one, first leg, break, second leg. That shows that all bear pressure played out, and then you can start to look for a trade. So that's really what you just want to look for in really strong trend days like this. Towards the end of the day, we just started consolidating sideways. This uptrend still needs to create new extreme or new high, so that'll probably happen eventually. But I appreciate you guys for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Feel free to join my Discord. I just set it up like I said earlier. I'll be live screen sharing my screen every day, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and join up. Feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be uploading every weekday my live charting session. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck with your trading.